can be from any Barrios where you come and get the tea. You want real talk with real people, nowhere else you need to go. Talking real issues, real substance, what else you need to know? Shawty been all in the White House, but she can talk the trap. She ain't never left the community, so she know where it's at. I'm talking BK Finer, she gon' rep it to the grave. And I only support the real, so I'ma tune in every day. Way up. You are now tuned in to Angela, but I call her Yee. Way up.
Yeah, it's Way Up with Angela Yee. I'm Angela Yee. Jasmine Brand is here.
Good morning.
Hey, Jasmine Brand. Shout out to Plies. I saw he just posted. I thought this was dope. Had the pleasure of doing my first radio intro, Way Up with Angela Yee. Continued blessings and success. Glad to be a part of it.
We love Plies.
I know. And he said he's going to come on the show.
Ooh. I can't wait for Plies to come on the show.
And by the way, the whole song is amazing.
It is. I've heard the extended version.
It's a bop. So, Plies, we need we need you to put it out.
Yes. Yeah, he definitely needs to put the whole thing out.
It's a fun song. Anyway, a lot happened over the weekend, which we will be addressing today in the room. But yes, we will. Also, what I'm excited about is, I love the show Love After Lockup.
Yes, you do.
Okay, and I was able to DM Monique and get her to come to New York.
Yes.
To do an interview.
Yes, she did.
Monique and Derek came here. Their first times in New York City.
That was a big deal for them.
So they were here all weekend, but they did come through Way Up with Angela Yee to do their first. This is the first interview that they did when they did this show.
Right.
Prior to joining Love After Lockup. Now it's Life After what is it? Life After Lockup?
Is it Life After After Lockup? You love this show, by the way.
I do. I like them though.
They're your favorite. It's safe to say they're your favorite.
So we're going to see, because some people feel like, is this relationship real? Are they doing this just to be on TV? Are they trying to get a spinoff? So we'll get to learn about how they met, how they connected, how they even got on the show.
Okay. Where
they are now. The big thing is Monique pregnant?
Is she pregnant?
But for those of you who don't watch Love After Lockup, it's still an interesting conversation.
It is.
When you get to see it. Also, over the weekend, I did a lot of different things, which we will talk about, but we always start the show with shining a light on somebody.
Okay.
That's when you guys get to call up here, 800-292-5150, and you get to shine a light on somebody who is doing something positive. You want to show them some love. This is how we always start the show off, with positivity. And then after that, we'll have Yee Tea for you guys, and that's where we'll be addressing everything that happened with Tamron Hall, with the whole comments about women.
Oh, I can't wait.
The Breakfast Club, what I was saying, is it cap? Is it not cap? So we'll talk about all of that. It's Way Up with Angela Yee. Again, shine a light on them, 800-292-5150. Tell us who you want to shine a light on.
We gon' light the block up. I'ma shine. I'ma shine.
Turn your lights on, y'all.
Turn your lights on.
Spreading love to those who are doing greatness.
Shine a light on them. Shine a light on them.
It's time to shine a light on them.
Yes, it is time to shine a light on them. I'm Angela Yee, and my homegirl Jasmine Brand is here.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Happy Monday.
Happy Monday. We love a Monday. But shine a light on them. You guys get to call and shine a light on somebody doing something positive. 800-292-5150 is the number. Today, I want to shine a light on somebody who actually got me tickets to go see SZA over the weekend.
Oh, okay.
And she always is looking out for me, helping me out with things, and that would be Baby Sam.
Okay.
She works in the music business, but she really is an amazing person. And so my friend from childhood, her daughter really wanted to go see SZA. She's 15 years old.
Okay.
Lula. And so she hit me in December asking me to go see SZA.
So she gave you a heads up.
She asked me a long time ago. She was prepared.
Yes.
And Sam happened to give me these tickets. Okay. And so I told Lula we could come. And then Chanel, remember Chanel from Young Money?
Yes.
Chanel and D Woods.
From Danity Kane.
Yep. And she also, by the way, does Broadway plays and plays now. She's in one called Black Odyssey.
Super talented.
They also were going, and they had an extra ticket. So I was able to bring Lula and her sister Kalei, and then also go to the concert and make sure the girls were good. And I got to take a picture with SZA too.
Oh, wow.
So their day is made. So shout out to Baby Sam. Thank you so much for that. Now you get to shine a light on somebody. Mello.
EV, what's the word?
What's good? Who you want to shine a light on?
Yo, I actually got to shine a light on my guy, Trav, man. I'm not even going to hold you because, he just sent me a feature for a song that I've been trying to, figure out, and he really held it down. And then, of course, I do this all the time. I'm gonna shine a light on you. I definitely gotta shine a light on Dan. You guys are like amazingness personified. Jazz too. I'm not even gonna hold you. Your swag on top. Like, I'm not even gonna lie. We shine a light on everybody. Like,
Look at Mello spreading all this positivity.
Oh, thank
when
you.
When do we get to hear this song, Mello, with you and Trav?
Yeah.
That to be decided. We still working on it, but it's almost done. I'm not even gonna hold you.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Well, thanks, Mello. That was a nice shine a light on
really
him.
Sweet.
Mello always has positive energy.
I love it.
All right, Al, who you want to shine a light on?
I'm going to shine a light on to my older sister, Kathleen. At the age of 19, she took responsibility of her 6-year-old and her 9-year-old brother. I was the 6-year-old brother. I'm the youngest.
Oh.
To
Okay.
this very day, I can say, they say a woman cannot raise a man to be a man. I have not been in jail. I don't have a police record. I don't drink, smoke, or do any drugs.
Okay.
So I want to give her blessings and her love and appreciation while she's still here.
Kathleen took care of you from when you were 6 years old.
Wow.
And raised you to be an amazing man. Shout out to her.
Shout out to her.
So I make sure to this day she went for nothing.
Oh,
Oh,
I love
I
that.
love that. See, that's amazing.
I love that.
Shanita, who you want to shine a light on?
Hey, Angela Yee. I want to shine a light on to my man, Antonio White.
Okay,
Yesterday,
Antonio.
he became another new granddad. This is his second grandbaby,
Oh.
Braxton.
Braxton. That's cute.
Baby Braxton.
Baby
love
Brax.
that. Oh, Brax.
Yes,
Okay.
baby Braxton.
We already giving him a nickname.
No, she said Braxton.
I know. I was
right?
giving him a nickname
Oh,
already.
baby. I'll give him Baby Brax.
Yeah, Baby Brax. That sounds cool.
Okay, gotcha.
Ooh.
That's what they're going to call
This is
him.
my first time being on the radio. I kind of like this.
All right, well,
like
get it all out there while you up here. Go ahead.
Anything else you want to say?
Yes. And this is my first time listening to your new show, too. I was wondering where you were. I've been listening to the Breakfast Club, and I was like, where's Angela Yee?
Well, here I
You
am.
found her.
Thank you for calling up. I love
Yes,
that. Actually,
I did.
Yeah, I love that we took your radio virginity.
Yes. Thank you. I appreciate this call.
Okay, we appreciate you. Thank you. That was Shine a Light on them, 800-292-5150. You can still leave messages, and we will shine your lights all during the show, after the show, whatever it is that you need. But when we come back, it is Yeetie, and we'll be talking about what happened with the whole Tamron Hall debacle on Way Up with Angela Yee.
They say it's truth in the rumors.
From industry shade to all the gossip,
Talk to me.
Angela's spilling that yee tea.
Talk to 'em.
Yes, it's Way Up with Angela Yee. Jasmine Brand is here with me.
Happy Monday.
Happy Monday.
Good morning.
And let's get right into this Yeetie. So there was a lot of conversations over the weekend over this Tamron Hall interview that I did.
Okay.
Where I was discussing that sometimes it was challenging to be the only woman in the room.
Okay.
In the studio. Not in the building, but in the room as in the studio. Here's what was said.
Because you were the lone woman on this show, it seemed to me that people were always riding you.
Yeah, and I was the only woman who worked there too. I mean, when it came to producers, camera people, and it wasn't an easy room for me
I
to be
didn't know
in.
that.
So I feel like I did need more backup. And so that was hard for me too, to be the only woman there with nobody to be like, check somebody, you shouldn't have said that like that. It's just me. And there were times I did do that behind the scenes because we should be able to do that. Now, in the room, I met the producer was a man, Eddie, who I really love. Eddie's a great producer. And I also was talking about our camera guy, Nick. He was in the room filming. And then our board op, who really can't leave the room.
Literally.
Because we have one here now and he cannot get up and go anywhere. So, and then obviously the other two hosts. So I wasn't discussing, and I know Charlamagne has brought up Taylor, who is a producer, who cuts audio, does all of those things, but she has a separate room where she works out of, where she does that. So her responsibility is not necessarily to be in that room.
Gotcha.
So for the people I was talking about are the people whose job is to be in the room. And so I wasn't trying to make anybody feel away. Sydney is in here right now and she's filming this and she does digital. And so, they're editing video clips, they're doing different things, they're coming up with ideas, but that's not happening in the studio.
Right.
That's happening in the area that they have allocated to them outside of the studio. So there's a lot of great women. Obviously, in that same interview, a lot of other things were said that I thought were really positive, but I don't think I've ever been or ever not said that it was challenging sometimes.
Right.
To be in the room and to be the lone woman in the room.
Yeah.
So it never blew up like this before, I guess, but maybe it was the way that I said it. I'm not sure, but I guess people were interpreting it to mean that I meant that there were no women working on the show, and that was not my intention.
Right,
so
right.
not to make anybody feel like, because that's simply not true. I was talking about in that studio, in that room, and even Sydney would tell you, I would walk out that room and be like, I can't be in here for now. And I would even say, when I leave the show, I don't even want to talk to any guys. That's why I had lip service with all women, because I was like, I can't talk to any guys for like 2 hours. And I feel like I've said that on many interviews, but somehow this
wasn't
turned into a lot more.
This wasn't the first time I've heard you say it. Were you surprised that it became a
yes.
thing?
I was definitely surprised. But, one thing I did do, and I advise this to anybody when something happens, because this has happened to me countless times, just don't stay on social media, because you don't want to be sitting there clapping back at people.
Right.
A lot of people were like sending me screenshots like, look what this person said. Look what this person said. I wasn't even paying attention or responding to any of that.
Right.
Because honestly, I had a great weekend. I was with Donnell Rawlings over the weekend.
Right.
I went to the SZA show. I took my friend's daughters to go see SZA.
Right.
I did a lot of different things. I have a lot of celebrations and positive things happening. And I feel like I also know me. Like, if anybody's like, Angela doesn't support women,
we know that's not true.
And that would be an issue too. People would be like, oh, you always take the woman's side. It's like, no matter what, you just can't win. So I just mind my business, go about my business, do my thing, do my job, and focus on moving forward. On Way Up with Angela Yee, like I said on the show, everybody was happy for me when I got my own show.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's a blessing, and I'm happy to be here and honored. But I did work hard for it. And that's another thing somebody told me. I have to stop acting like I was given a show. I earned it. I worked really hard.
Absolutely.
And, at iHeart, they tell me that all the time. So, yes, I work hard. I do what I do. And Way Up with Angela Yee is not going anywhere, guys. Hopefully next year we don't play that clip back like, well, it's canceled. No.
Right. When I called you this weekend, you were like, what? Wait, what? Like,
I don't know. Honestly, I really didn't know what was going on. I was at a comedy club. I was with Donnell. I was like, I'm not paying attention to none of that.
Right, yeah.
That's noise.
Okay.
All right. So that was that. That was your Yeetie. Now, when we come back, we have About Last Night. That's where we talk about things that we did over the weekend or the night before. And I had a really fun weekend, so we'll talk about that on Way Up with Angela Yee.
Going way up, turn up with Angela Yee.
Yeah. Last night.
So, about last night.
Last night.
Here's how it went down.
All right, it's Way Up with Angela Yee. Jasmine Brand is here.
Good morning.
And we're talking about last night. And for me, it really was Saturday night. I went to the SZA concert.
How was it?
Oh my gosh. It was way even more amazing than I anticipated. I'm a huge SZA fan.
Okay, I like her too. I've never seen her in concert.
From the very beginning, and I took, my friend's daughters, 15 and 13. They were so excited.
Of course they were.
They also got a chance to meet SZA after the show. And for me, even just, I gave them my seats.
Oh.
And then I was with Chanel from Young Money.
Uh-huh.
And I was with D Woods.
Yes.
Who, from Danny D. Kane, but they're sisters.
Yes.
Y'all should know that, but if you don't. But anyway, I was sitting with them, and we were like, this is crazy. It was like a sold-out show. The girls in there knew everything word for word.
Really?
And when I tell you, even just her whole production, her stage show, everything was perfect.
Nice. See, I've never seen her live.
When it looked like they spent millions of dollars.
Wow.
Just on putting on an amazing show. So it was like a nautical theme.
Okay.
So she's on a boat, and it's SOS. Mm-hmm. And I can't even explain to you. She was up high in the air. I was like, I could never do that.
Really?
It also made me think about how SZA was a gymnast.
I didn't know that she was a gymnast.
Yeah, she used to be a gymnast because she also dances really amazing.
All these things I didn't know about SZA. I know I like her album, and I know it's doing well in the charts, but it makes sense now that you're breaking down how amazing this show was and all the flips and up in the air things she was doing. I can see it now.
She has a #1 album, so think about that already, right?
Well, yeah, I knew that.
No, I'm saying just think about the energy.
Okay.
Just from the fact that she has a #1 album.
Okay.
And she did not disappoint. Cardi B came out.
Now I saw those clips, and I saw your post.
Lost their mind when Cardi B hit that stage.
I know.
Yeah, so I just want to say, it made me think about because there were a lot of younger girls. And she's from Jersey. I want to point that out, too. So this was in Manhattan at Madison Square Garden.
Right.
She's from Maplewood. We actually went to high school in Jersey for 2 years. We went to the same school, Columbia High School.
Oh.
She tweeted about that one day. Rotimi went there also.
Okay, so all the little...
Lauryn Hill went there.
All the cool kids went there, apparently.
Jennifer Williams went there.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, I knew about you and Jennifer. being friends because you met there, right?
Right. So it was an amazing theme, and it was just a great show. It was nonstop. And I was like, I actually didn't want it to end. I really enjoyed it.
Oh,
it was an hour and 40 minutes.
Who opened for SZA?
I missed that part.
Okay, because you're late. All right, got it.
I was trying to coordinate and meet people and get them situated with their tickets.
Okay.
But it made me think about when she also brought out Phoebe Bridgers.
Oh.
That was her first special guest.
My niece loves Phoebe, and my niece is 16, and she loves her.
Well, she would have had an amazing time at the show.
She went to the show in D.C.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, just wanted to shout that out. It made me think like, wow, I don't go to concerts like that often, but I was thinking about my favorite concert I ever went to. Our producer, Dan, had to point out to me that it was Prince.
Of course it was.
Because Prince is my favorite, and he has an amazing show. But
right.
Yeah, that's up there, though.
Okay.
This is a great show. So if you have a chance to catch SZA, make sure you do.
Okay. My favorite concert, Whitney Houston. That was the first concert I ever went to.
You went to go see Whitney?
I did. My dad took me. My dad and my stepmom took me to see Whitney Houston, and I was a kid.
That is so exciting.
Yeah.
Those are like legendary things to be able to see and say you did.
That was our first concert ever, and it was like the most memorable for me.
That's dope.
Yep.
All right. Well, when we come back, it's time to tell us a secret. This is one of my favorite parts of the show. That's when you call in. It's anonymous, so we don't know who you are, so you can tell us anything. Maybe there's something that you've never told anybody, but you feel like I need to put it out in the atmosphere and get it out there. 800-292-5150. Call us up. Tell us a secret. Again, we do not judge you for these secrets. You do not say who you are. We just want to hear from you. It's Way Up with Angela Yee.
Going way up, turn up with Angela Yee. Yeah, she back at it. Bring in the back. Way Up with Angela Yee is on.
What's up? It's Way Up with Angela Yee, and it's time for Tell Us a Secret. 800-292-5150. Call us up. You can be anonymous. That's the whole point of it. There's no judgment, and we want to hear your secret on Way Up with Angela Yee.
Yo.
Way up.
Shh. This is a judgment-free zone. Tell us a secret.
Yes, it is Way Up with Angela Yee. My girl Jasmine Brand is here.
Good morning. I'm hungry, Angela.
We know.
Okay.
You're always hungry.
That was my secret.
I'm not going to lie. Jasmine, she goes back to D.C. on the weekends, and I always lose a couple of pounds whenever you're not here.
Well, you'll gain them back.
We're back.
I'm back.
We're back in the mix.
We're back in the food mix.
Jasmine will, on the way in to the studio, eat. And then when we get here, eat. And then while we're eating, talk about what's the next meal.
Yes.
But that's your secret.
Is it sexy?
Now, what's the secret to not gaining weight? Because we need to know that secret.
I'm nice. When you're nice, you have a higher metabolism. Why you look at me like that?
All right, well, you guys call us up and tell us the secret. 800-292-5150. All right, anonymous caller.
So, me and my girl like to do some crazy shit, right? So she like to put peanut butter on my back and lick it off. And I like to put whipped cream on her back and lick it off, right?
Okay.
But lately, the peanut butter been itching my back, and I don't know how to tell her that I don't want to do it no more.
Well, you might want to use a different type of peanut butter. It sounds like you might have a nut allergy.
Yeah, maybe vegan. No, would vegan have nuts?
Do you have a nut allergy?
It's like it might be the nuts.
Nah, I don't got no type of allergies. It's just starting to irritate me now. I guess my skin want to try something different. I don't know.
Well, maybe suggest what other food does she like?
Maybe I should try mangoes or something, but I don't know how to bring it up to her.
I think buy the mangoes and be like, let's try this. She should also see that it's itching your back, you know?
Right.
You right.
Yeah, I think she'll like that as long as it's another food that she likes.
All right, I'm going to kick it out to her and see what she says.
Although mango doesn't spread like peanut butter.
Well, what about chocolate syrup?
Yeah, you need something that's more like a spread.
Yeah, you need a
I want some of that chocolate syrup.
There you go. All right. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
All right. Hey, y'all follow me on Instagram, Coach Peace.
This defeats the purpose of being anonymous.
You're supposed to be anonymous.
We got you. Hello, tell us a secret.
How y'all doing today?
How are you?
Good morning.
I'm doing good. So when I was around 17 years old, I had my first child, and me and the mother had split up, and I was speaking with another female, and me and that female split up. And then one of my homeboys came back to me and told me that female was pregnant.
Ooh.
And I believe that I have a 28-year-old son out in the world, and I lost contact with that female because I was told that right before I went into the Army, and then I went all over the world and never had contact with that female again.
Wow.
So you want to find your, what could be your son?
It would be nice to find him because the same thing happened to me. We found a brother of mine that we didn't know about. So it would be nice to find him if it is actually mine.
Do you know his name?
You know how bad it hurts? No, I have no clue of his name or anything. Like I said, I left for the Army, and my homeboy had told me a couple days right before I left for the Army.
Okay. You know her name still?
I still know her name.
He might want to hire someone.
Yeah, maybe you should try to find her because I feel like it's easier than ever to find people nowadays.
Especially with social media.
Well, I just don't know the drama it would bring because I'm back with the mother of my first child.
Oh, okay.
Gotcha.
Right. I mean, that's messy. But in a selfless type of way, you know, you also, this could be something that could be good for your son.
Yeah.
That's true.
And these are mistakes that were made so long ago.
Yeah, she might be understanding, actually.
Yeah.
The woman you're with now might be understanding because she kind of knows what happened.
You should share it with her and see what she thinks because sometimes you need that support from somebody close to you.
I've thought of it, but I also told her that we never slept together.
Oh,
okay.
Old lies.
Yeah,
and I stuck with that.
Well, we're not here to judge you, but thank you for sharing with us.
Oh, thank you for taking my call.
Hello, tell us a secret.
My secret is I honestly hate coming to work.
I can tell by how your voice switched up too.
You see her pause?
Oh, so what you gonna do about it?
For real, it's just I'm gonna come to work because I gotta pay my bills. But damn,
I'm gonna tell you something though, and this is something for real. And I know this is just you telling us a secret, and you know how many people have that same secret. Mm-hmm. But I will say this: I had told myself a long time ago because I used to have I had a job at one point that I hated to wake up in the morning and go to work. This was a long time ago before y'all make too much out of this. Mm-hmm. But I just remember thinking like, I have to get out of here because I used to complain to everybody all the time about how I hated my job and it weighed on me so much and it would ruin my weekend because I'd be like, man, I got to go to work on Monday.
Right.
And you think about the countdown for that. But that's when it's time for you to take action. At a certain point now, you got to figure out while you're there, what's the plan to get out?
True, but I love the discount I get.
You love the discount? You said, how long you been there?
Over a year now.
Okay.
You better stay friends with somebody from there so you could use their discount.
Right.
I don't like people like that.
It might be you. It may not be the job.
Okay. Well, thank you for sharing.
No problem.
Bye.
All right. Well, that was Tell Us a Secret. 800-292-5150. You could also always leave that on the voicemail and we'll play it during the show. And when we come back, Yee time and Chris Rock. This was definitely trending over the weekend. His comedy special, it's a, by the way, live comedy special was on. We'll tell you some of the takeaways on Way Up with Angela Yee.
Going way up, turn up with Angela Yee. Yo, she about to blow the lid up off this pot.
Let's get it.
Oh yeah, Angela's spilling that Yee tea.
Come and get the tea.
Yes, it's Way Up with Angela Yee. Jasmine Brand.
Hey.
You always post all these great stories too.
I do, and everyone was talking about this.
Okay, well, it's the Chris Rock special. And that was a live special, by the way. It's called Selective Outrage on Netflix. That's the first time they've done that.
I didn't. It is, and for some reason I forgot that it was live.
They actually sent me a gift box in here.
Yeah, last week, right?
Let me post it. Yeah, on Friday.
Okay.
But I didn't see it live, but I saw it on demand, of course, afterward.
Okay.
And so one thing that everybody was talking about, and I know we discussed it up here, was when he was rehearsing his material, people were discussing him addressing Will Smith and that slap that happened at the Oscars. This is his first time addressing it, and I know he was waiting for the special to do that.
Right.
So here's what he had to say.
Y'all know what happened to me, getting smacked by Suge Smith, and people like, did it hurt? It still hurts, but I'm not a victim, baby. You will never see me on Oprah or Gayle crying. That took that hit like Pacquiao, mother. But Will Smith practices selective outrage. Because everybody knows what the happened. Everybody that really knows I had nothing to do with that. I didn't have any entanglements. I normally would not talk about this, but for some reason these put that on the internet.
Ooh, all right. Yeah, and look, I think this was anticipated. He's been saying that he was going to talk about this on his special on Netflix.
Right.
And this was his opportunity to do that. Here's what else he had to say about the slap.
Okay. I have rooted for Will Smith my whole life. And now I watch Emancipation just to see him get whooped. Got me rooting for Massa, okay? And a lot of people go, Chris, how come you didn't do nothing back? Because I got parents. That's why. Because I was raised. And you know what my parents taught me? Don't fight in front of white people.
All right. Now, I saw a lot of people criticizing this part of the special because he did call Jada Pinkett Smith the B word
a few times. It was a little.
It was very harsh.
It was a little harsh.
And then they were bringing up the whole timeline of times that he said negative things about Jada Pinkett Smith throughout the years. They also brought up the fact that Tony Rock, who was his brother, said he would have fought. And they were like, why would he say he won't fight in front of white people because of how he was raised?
Right.
They have the same parents. Da 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 da.
Those comments definitely had people talking.
But now I kind of feel like, you know how it is. Now people are turning on Chris Rock when initially people were against Will Smith.
See, I always felt like people were more, team Will Smith, even though he was the one that I always felt like they were more supportive of Will Smith because he came out and apologized and.
Ooh, okay, well, other things that people talked about a lot on this special was Meghan Markle and what Chris Rock had to say about her.
Okay.
Meghan Markle. Some of that she went through was not racism. It was just some in-law Oprah, they're so racist. They wanted to know how brown the baby was going to be. That's not racist. Because even black people want to know how brown the baby going to be. We check behind them ears. Because you got to see what kind of black child you going to get. Is this a Steph Curry baby or a Draymond Green baby?
Jasmine, your face. Wait. Oh, yeah, you didn't watch the special yet.
No, I just saw the clips. Is this a Steph Curry baby or a Draymond Green baby?
But I do think it feels like Chris Rock was definitely trying to push the limits here.
But isn't this tracks for Chris Rock? I was about to say Chris Brown. This tracks for Chris Rock, though, right?
Yeah, I mean, like my favorite Chris Rock special ever was Bring the Pain.
Okay.
I felt like that was like perfect.
That was a classic, so it's kind of hard to.
And this
beat
was
that.
also live during this, but I do feel like some of it I laughed, some of it I was like, but the title of it is Selective Outrage, so I feel like he wanted people to be outraged.
And some people were outraged.
Yeah, for sure. And so there you have it. And if you haven't seen it, you can make your own decisions after you watch it.
What did you think about it?
Well, I didn't like how he talked about Jada and calling her B word over and over again.
Yeah, that wasn't cool.
I understand what he was saying. Like, this is what comedians do. They say things, some people will get mad. Like Meghan Markle, yes, we do all know the royal family's racist. We
do know that, yeah.
So I get it. He's making a joke out of it, and some people are going to be offended by that. But the part about his daughter getting kicked out of school,
hilarious.
And how rich and spoiled his kids are.
Truth, probably.
That was funny.
Yeah,
to me.
Yeah.
That was probably my favorite part of it. I'm trying to think of other things that he said on there.
He definitely pushes the limit, and here we are talking about it. Everybody it definitely had mixed reviews on social media. So,
all right, well, that is your Yeetie. And when we come back, Under the Radar, and I actually saw this on the Jasmine brand. What's going on with Shanquella Robinson? Okay, and the family. What happened with this investigation? We'll tell you about it on Under the Radar when we come back.
Going way up, turn up with Angela Yee.
I got news.
This is the news that relates to you. These stories are flying under the radar.
All right, it is Way Up with Angela Yee, and Jasmine Brand is here.
Good afternoon. Good morning.
You don't know what time it is. Good day.
Good day.
And this is time for Under the Radar. These are stories that are flying under the radar. They're not the headline news stories, but we want to make sure that you're aware of these too.
Right.
And this one is about Shanquella Robinson. Now, remember this whole story. She was in Mexico on a trip with her friends, and all kinds of things happen. She was on a trip to Cabo. She was pronounced dead inside the villa where she and her friends had booked their stay. Then there was video that came out that showed the friends being ridiculously...
Her being attacked, yeah.
Yeah, attacked, brutally beaten. In addition to that, they said that they were told that she died from alcohol poisoning, but then that video surfaced on social media. So there was an arrest warrant that had been issued for one of the people who accompanied Shanquella on the trip to Mexico. That person has not been officially identified, but the family of Shanquella Robinson is fed up with U.S. officials. They feel they've been abandoned. Somebody was asking me the other day too, like, whatever happened with Shanquella Robinson? And then I saw this on the Jasmine brand.
Yep. I forgot about this story until we did it.
Right, because I was like, did they ever get justice? Did they ever find out? Was anybody prosecuted? Well, the Robinson family's attorney, Sue Ann Robinson, and they're not related, by the way, gave an update. She said, we weren't greeted by the consulate and taken to the attorney general's office. We kind of had to make our way in order to get the information. We did not receive any assistance from the consulate, despite their knowledge of the protocols and Mexico that the attorney general would require the consulate to be involved because it is a crime involving a U.S. citizen. So now they're waiting for the government here to do the next steps in the process. So basically, It's a case where the United States has to turn over a United States citizen or citizens to the Mexican government in order to be brought to justice under their criminal system. But this is also not something that's unprecedented. This has protocol. This has been done before,
right?
But it does take a high-level diplomatic intervention. So on Friday, Shanquella Robinson's family went to D.C. and they had a press conference, and they're asking, please, we need some support from these U.S. officials. And here is what Ben Crump, one of our favorite attorneys, had to say.
15 weeks and 3 days, and still, with all this visual evidence, nobody has been arrested. It is clear Mexico has advised that their investigation is complete. They have identified a suspect. That suspect is currently out free in the United States of America.
Interesting.
Right. And so this is a case, a story that should not go away. Everybody was talking about it. It was viral. And now it's kind of like, all right. And this happened October 28th. She left her home October 28th. She's from Charlotte, North Carolina, went on this trip to Cabo, and the next day she was pronounced dead. And so Shanquella's sister, Quilla Long, said she's disappointed with how the U.S. government has handled this case. She said, I have not been able to rest since October 29th of 2022. I got the call of her death. I also was told lies about her death, and I witnessed, among others of the world, a video of a death. This journey has been frustrating, the feeling of disheartenment toward our government. I feel like our government has failed us. Now we got to take extra steps and measurements as far as rallies, as far as press conferences and mailing letters. I feel like we should not have to do this. It's been 5 months and something should have been done.
Right. I'm so glad that they have Ben Crump involved in this, because he definitely raises the profile on the case, and it makes the story continue to be discussed, because like we were talking about, we were like, oh, whatever happened?
And people will sometimes talk negatively about Ben Crump and the work that he does, like he just wants attention. But he'll tell you part of getting things done is bringing attention to a case.
Yeah,
families call him for that purpose.
For attention. I would absolutely, positively want attention. It was just so many questions with this case, just like how they thought that initially it was alcohol poisoning, and then this video comes out, and it didn't. It was awful.
And the fact that no one's been arrested, and we see this video.
And I didn't know no one has been arrested.
Right. So that's why we got to make sure, again, that's what Under the Radar is for. These stories that have been flying under the radar that we want to make sure people continue to stay aware of, or are aware of,
right?
That they might not have known otherwise.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, that was Under the Radar. Now we still have some really fun things happening on the show today. From Love After Lockup, Monique and Derek are going to be joining us.
Your favorite couple.
You know. Okay, so this was a great interview too. So you guys are going to enjoy it, even if you don't watch Love After Lockup. And of course, we have the Way Up mix at the top of the hour. It's Way Up with Angela Yee.
Way Up.
Just like to talk like they Angela Yee, like they Angela Yee.
Man, she's spilling it all. This is Yee T.
Way Up.
All right, it is Way Up with Angela Yee. Jasmine Brand is here with me.
I'm here.
On a Monday. And here is your Yee T. Creed 3 set the box office record opening weekend. It's the biggest box office opening for a sports film of all time.
Oh, wow.
It made an estimated $58.7 million domestically and another $41.8 million overseas, so over $100 million worldwide.
Sheesh.
I mean, that's huge.
Shout out to Michael B. Jordan.
I know. That what a great
this.
first directorial debut to have.
Where do you go from there?
All right, now, since we're talking about sports, let's talk about Ja Morant. The Memphis Grizzlies head coach said there is no timetable for when he will return to the team after there's a video that appears to show him on Instagram Live, and it looks like he's holding a gun.
Right.
All right.
I am Ja Morant. You guys have got a chance to see me grow up for public consumption since 1991. I've been involved in drug raids. I've survived assassination attempts. I've been that undisciplined young person that was trying to figure out how to be famous, how to be successful, and how to change the dynamics of my family. The one thing that young people have to understand, and in Ja Morant's case, when you first get drafted, you go from being a member of the family, a member of the crew, to being the leader.
That was, by the way, Jalen Rose. I know we jumped the gun a little bit on that, but that was Jalen Rose discussing the whole situation with Ja Morant, because Ja Morant has had some issues, and now he's going to be suspended for at least 2 games.
Right.
And they're saying there's no timetable for when he will be able to return to the team. Now, Ja Morant, as far as his statement. He said, I take full responsibility for my actions last night. I'm sorry to my family, teammates, coaches, fans, partners, the city of Memphis, and the entire Grizzlies organization for letting you down. I'm going to take some time away to get help and work on learning better methods of dealing with stress and my overall well-being.
I feel like this happens so fast.
What?
Like he just put the alleged gun up and then it's like boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, and I think there's issues on where he was. Like you're not allowed to bring it into the facility.
Gotcha. Okay.
And all different types of things. And he's had other issues too.
Right.
But he was at a nightclub, when he did that.
Yeah.
So we'll see. And he has a lot going on. So the last thing you want to do is lose it all. A
Jeopardize.
$200+ million NBA contract. He has endorsement deals with Nike, with Powerade. That's worth hundreds of millions more. I think Powerade doesn't even do a lot of endorsement deals with athletes. So he's only 23 years old.
Oh, man. Well, I appreciate Jalen Rose giving us some perspective on...
Yeah, we saw you in BMF, Jalen Rose, All right. And Nicki Minaj, she has officially announced that she has her own record label. So here's what she had to say.
I'm not going to announce the name. Well, I have a record label now. And because I believe so strongly in loyalty, and because I've spent my whole life giving to others that turn around and on me, Patty Duke is the first A&R on my label.
All right. And for people who are wondering who Patty Duke is, that's a longtime friend of hers. Patty Lauren, I think, is her real name. And so congratulations to them. She also said she's been texting the co-president of Republic Records, Wendy Goldstein, who was the person that told her to go ahead and disclose this information.
I'm excited about that because I wasn't familiar with Patty Duke. Were you?
Mm-mm.
Okay, yeah, I'm excited.
Some people thought it was a different person. That's why I wanted to clarify.
Right. Yeah, and you're right. Her real name is Patty Lauren, which is also a pretty name.
Okay, there you go. Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion have expressed some interest in starring in a Baps remake. According to Robert Townsend, he said there's people that love the film, and some people that didn't get it, and those that love it, like you love it and you get it. I've had people go, "Hey, we want to do a remake." He said everybody from Megan Thee Stallion to Cardi B is like, "Could we do it?" And he's saying he doesn't know, but people are interested.
That WAP video really was giving me
Baps.
Yeah. So I'm not surprised when I saw that.
And I wouldn't be mad at something like that.
I
That's
wouldn't
a
either.
classic movie. Every year somebody dresses up for Halloween.
It is a classic. We should do it. We should do it this Halloween.
You want to dress up like that?
Yep.
We got to think of something.
Okay.
All right. And Fabio Foreign talked about missing Rolling Loud. Rolling Loud looked like it was absolutely insane in California over the weekend. And he went on social media and said, apologize to Rolling Loud and everybody who came out to see me. I ain't make it my first time missing a show and I feel so crazy about it, but my body dealing with some real issues. Just keep me in your prayers and I'll hit Tariq up to make it up. The reason people deal with depression and trauma and anxiety is because they're trying to take care of the things that should be taken care of. I don't ignore my problems, I fix them. And then he said the folks that don't go above and beyond to handle their responsibilities be less depressed than us that do.
My favorite line, my favorite tweet is, I don't ignore my problems, I fix them.
Right.
I appreciate that.
And you do have to take some time for yourself. I was thinking about that too, because I have a lot of things I need to take care of these next few days.
You do.
And I don't know how I'm going to get through it. And I'm like, and then I just had some unfortunate
Absolutely,
news that has nothing to do with work.
Yes.
That happened. But,
Well, and that's the thing. You never know what people are going through. People are going through way more things than you think they're going through. So,
yes.
We should keep that in mind.
All right. Well, that is your Yee Tea. And when we come back, it is Women's History Month. So we're going to highlight somebody, of course, on Way Up with Angela Yee.
When they ask what you bring to the table, tell them you brought the table. Way Up with Angela Yee, celebrating the ladies during Women's History Month.
Yes, it is Way Up with Angela Yee. Hey, Jasmine Brand.
Hey, Angela
I'm not just a brand. I'm my own brand. And it is Women's History Month. And as we've been doing every single day, we're celebrating women who have contributed immensely to society.
And we have great music in the background to kind of demonstrate this.
And here's something you may not know. All right, Voice over Internet Protocol, VoIP. The person who created, do you know what that is?
Yeah. The other technology uses it. So, like, I'll let you, Skype, Zoom, Magic Jack, they all use this technology.
Yeah, so that's what allows people to communicate through audio and or video while using the internet. The person that created that is a black woman.
Of course it is.
Marion Croak is her name, and she's credited with initiating and furthering the development of Voice over Internet Protocol. So, more than 125 patents actually use this service. and over 2,000 engineers. She holds a PhD in quantitative analysis from the University of Southern California. She worked at AT&T for more than 30 years in data services, and she's currently a senior vice president at the company. And she says when the internet first became popular, she predicted that IP and the internet were going to explode, so she felt a need to start developing technology that would transform the internet, and she did exactly that. And that's when she developed those fundamentals that we use for what is now voice over internet protocol.
Yep.
So we wouldn't even be able to have, I think business-wise, with the pandemic, like we said, they use that on Zoom. They use it on Skype, a lot of the technology that we were using during the pandemic. So now it's $1 billion industry, and that's all based on her technology. She saw something that was happening and got ahead of it.
She did.
So there you go. And her contribution is literally taking the internet to a new level. But a lot of people didn't even know about her and know that it was a black woman who did this, Marion Croak. And if you remember dial-up internet, you can thank Marion Croak for no longer having to use that. So now you can actually communicate verbally over the internet, specifically a broadband connection. So that's how we talk on FaceTime. We do all of those things. So yes.
Do you remember dial-up internet?
Yeah, and it would be like, and then it would be like, whoosh,
I remember
and it was
AOL.
so loud, and it took forever.
Yeah.
In order for you to be able to get on there. So yes, we just want to shout her out. Among her inventions is the text to donate function also.
I love that.
Her team created that in the wake of Hurricane Katrina that helps raise millions of dollars for disaster relief efforts since it launched in 2005. And she's now vice president of engineering at Google as well. So congratulations and shout out to her.
And she was also one of the first 2 black women to be inducted into the Inventors Hall of Fame. I didn't even know they had one of those.
Yeah, me neither.
That's dope.
But it only makes sense.
It does, absolutely.
So big shout out to Marion Croak, a black woman who invented this technology that we use all the time on Zoom and on FaceTime. She's an American tech pioneer, and she holds more than 200 U.S. patents.
All right, Dr. Marion.
For Women's History Month. Now, what? You know how I'm about to pivot?
Yes, I'd love to hear this pivot.
Okay, Love After Lockup, baby. On WeTV, I really enjoy watching this show.
You are so fascinated by the show and this couple. You're very fascinated.
This couple, and there's other couples on there that I enjoy watching, but what it is about Monique and Derek is, for some reason, people feel like Derek is using Monique or can't possibly really like her. And I see people going in on her all the time on social media. But she is the person that really held him down.
Yes.
She said his family wasn't holding him down like that. And she was the one that was going to see him. They were together 2.5 years before he was released. And she is the person that went to go get him and pick him up. And
if you see their body language when they're together in person, you can tell they're into each other.
The only thing is that he has cheated on her, admittedly. We're going to get into all of that, by the way. We're going to ask all of those questions.
Yes.
Because it seems like, it doesn't seem like his family doesn't like her. His sisters.
They do not.
Not his whole family, just his sisters don't like Monique. And Monique's sisters don't particularly care for Derek either.
The feelings are mutual.
Yeah, it feels like a lot of people don't feel like this is going to last. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. He was locked up for 9 years?
I think something like that.
But we'll get into all of that. Love After Lockup. So Monique and Derek are going to be joining us. I reached out to Monique via DM. That's how I was able to get her on the show. I was like, let me just try and see.
She was so excited when you hit her, too.
And she definitely hit me right back. Definitely scheduled a trip. And actually, the day before they were supposed to come, she wasn't sure if it was going to happen because he had to get permission from his PO.
Yes.
To be able to travel. So
it's tricky.
She was like, later on tonight, I'm going to let you know, but we're still waiting to hear back. It might not happen, but we feel confident about it. So fortunately, she hit me back and was like, guess what? He got clearance. We'll see you tomorrow. She actually drove. She's from Chicago. He's from Cleveland. He flew in. She drove.
Right.
And this is their first time in New York City. So make sure y'all guys tune in. Love After Lockup. When we come back, Monique and Derek is way up with Angela Yee.
Yeah, she back at it. Bring in the Mac. Way Up with Angela Yee is on.
What's up? It's Way Up with Angela Yee. Jasmine Brand is here with me.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. It is on Monday.
Happy Monday.
We're getting ready for a photo shoot.
Yes, we are.
It was a crazy weekend over the weekend. I want to shout out my guy, Donnell Rawlings.
Oh.
He's in town. BMF was on Friday, of course. So if you guys watch BMF, you got a chance to see that episode. It was a lot going on.
Was it? I didn't see it.
Man, listen. There's one one of the storylines is their father is like having an affair with a neighbor.
I've been seeing those clips, yeah.
Yeah, and she broke it off, but then he ended up getting caught.
Oh, he got caught?
Yeah. I mean, sorry, it's out already, so that's why I don't mind telling y'all. But you got to watch how all that happens, because at some point I want to talk about this, because sometimes there's people who are like the side piece and they know they're the side piece.
Right, they're aware.
Are they responsible too? Because some people will act like they have no responsibility. It's not me. I'm not married. I'm not in the relationship.
Right.
But if you know you're the side piece, you're responsible too.
I don't know. That's something we should talk about.
Yeah, we'll do that.
And
at
what are
some
the
point.
side piece rules too? So
right. A lot of discussions here. But anyway, I was with Donnell, and you know, he is on BMF, but we hung out in Brooklyn. He was getting a suit. You know, he has this specific place he always goes to get his suits custom made. It's right across from the Barclays.
I didn't know that. Okay.
Right next door to Charm Bar in Brooklyn. And then we went to Ray DeJean, who was up here on Way Up with Yee previously. Yes. He's a comedian. He's a host. He's an entrepreneur. He has now opened a comedy club in Brooklyn recently.
Yeah.
And so I told Donnell he didn't even know. So I brought him to the comedy club as a surprise pop-up guest.
I didn't realize that. Okay.
Even Ray DeJean was surprised. Like, wow. I was like, look, Donnell's here. And you know, that's exciting when Donnell shows up and turns everything out.
He is super talented and super funny.
Funny you say talented, because Talent was the host for the night, the comedian Talent.
Oh, I don't know him. Okay.
So he was the headliner for the night. And Donnell came through, tore it down.
Of course he did.
I mean, Donnell is so hilarious.
He is so funny.
I don't think y'all even know. In real life, he's like that all the time.
Right. He's a lot.
And he's already planning Memorial Weekend, an event that he wants to do. So I'm sure we'll get more news on that coming up shortly. But yeah, so that was, I just wanted to shout out Ray DeJean again, because he came up here. We wanted to highlight him as somebody who is an entrepreneur, but also tell his story as a comedian. We do have this segment called Mastery of Comedy. Y'all know I'm a big fan of comedians. And so we are going to be doing that every Thursday. We have somebody booked already. Just Pam is coming this Thursday. And so she'll be discussing her journey in the world of comedy. And you know, at some point, Donnell Rawlings will be here to host too.
Of course he will.
All right. So I just wanted to get that out there. Shout out to you, Donnell. Love you, boo. And also to Ray DeJean, who has an amazing club. Y'all should check it out if you ever come to Brooklyn. Now, when we come back, Love After Lockup, one of my favorite things to watch. It's a guilty pleasure.
It is.
Monique and Derek are joining us, and they have no problem answering any questions. So if there are things you need clarity on, they're here to tell it all. It's Way Up with Angela Yee. When we come back, Monique and Derek, Love After Lockup.
Yeah, Burgers is back.
We're back with radio royalty, award-winning host and media personality Angela Yee.
More Way Up with Angela Yee on now.
What's up? It's Way Up with Angela Yee. I'm here with Jasmine, Brandon, Mano, and we have an exclusive in their first ever interview from Love After Lockup. Monique and Derek, your favorite couple.
Hey, y'all.
What's up, everybody? What's happening?
Okay.
Angela loves y'all. She's been talking about this, like wanting to interview y'all forever.
I know.
She was so excited.
I am. So let's get into it. Derek, let's start with you. So you and Monique met because she said she was scrolling through and you guys became pen pals first?
So long story short, I was in at the time in the Fed about 6 years. I was new to social media, so I put my name out there, got into the Facebook group. Monique reached out.
Were you dating anybody else prior to that? When you first got locked up?
No, I wasn't in a relationship. No, not at all. I ain't got no baby mothers, no kids.
Okay, and you're from Cleveland?
From Cleveland, up 216.
And then Monique, you reached out. Was he the only person you reached out to?
He was the only person that I reached out to.
What attracted you to him?
I mainly like what he said. Like, it wasn't like I'm looking for a girlfriend to marry. Like, he was basically saying like he wanted a friend, you know, somebody to, you know, talk to. And I was interested. I didn't reach out to him as soon as I seen his profile. It took me like a couple days.
Okay. And what was your prior situation to that? You were in a relationship like how long before that?
No, I've been single. I was single when I met him, but I was also dating at the same time too.
Yeah, because you do be going out, and Derek did not like that. Going out with your friends. All right, so then you guys started talking, and then when did you guys decide to take it to the next level?
Well, like, we was in a gray area, so I was like out dating, still dealing with my ex, and like Derek used to kind of get upset about it. So it was like, okay, we're gonna make it official, because we was kind of arguing about not really knowing what we were at the moment. We knew we cared about each other, but as I was looking at it as like, he's locked up, he got some time left, and I didn't really want to. Like, I still wanted to have fun.
He had 2.5 years left, right? When you guys got okay.
How did y'all keep the relationship going while he was away and, you know, during those 2.5 years?
We talked a lot on the phone.
It was like FaceTime video chat.
Okay.
And texting. I might have the whole team phone and just be on everybody phone, making sure talk to her. We build that relationship up emotionally and spiritually first, and we got to know each other like through and through.
How was your transition when you got out? Was it easy for you to keep that going, or did you feel yourself being pulled in other ways?
Me, I ask the tough questions. That's who I want to be with. Like, what make her smile? What make her happy? What make her sad? What make her mad? Like, these things I can't really see because I'm locked up. We have to experience that, and we didn't have the opportunity to experience that. That's why a lot of that, you see a lot of that on TV. Y'all seeing first incidents. Like, this is our first interview.
So, Monique, you were honest about the fact that you were still dealing with your ex when you were talking to Derek and you were out with your friends. He knew that you still had other things going on at first.
Yes.
Okay. And then what made you decide, you know what, I'm getting rid of him and I'm trying to work on this?
It was more so because I was searching for an emotional and mental connection with someone, and Derek gave that to me. Rather than the men that I was dating, it was just more so just like sexual. Like, we didn't really connect on a deep level. So that's the reason why I was like, okay, I'm going to just thug it out with him.
He said I would like to answer.
Just being me. I just highlighted the differences between them and me. You know, and it spoke for itself. I'm action based. So if you was getting that prior to me, and I'm showing you this when I'm in there, so imagine what I can show you when I get out.
Now, Monique, were you concerned with the fact that he was locked up for 9 years and then maybe when he comes out, the relationship is going to be different?
I was very concerned about that because I know he missed out on a lot of time. And I know when he got home, he was going to experience different things, which is kind of why I was kind of being overprotective of him and like not really wanting him to do things to go back to prison or make him forget about me.
We saw you setting up. I'm sorry. We saw you setting up the cameras and everything, right? So, just like what you just said, right? When you went to jail, you missed out on so much, right? I know when I came home, I know all the stuff that I thought I was.
Oh, the spy store. She went to the spy store.
You went to the spy store. And got those cameras.
That was wild.
Right? Yeah, I'm with that. But do you find it hard to balance trust, right? Because you're dealing with a man that missed out so much on his life and may need to experience things, right? So in essence, when you come home from prison after doing that much time, you're still trying to catch up. So it's certain things that a man wants to do and he may be getting pulled in certain areas. Are you still hard on him as far as the trust?
Are you still spying on him?
Yeah. Because that is wild. I mean, to set up cameras in the house secretly, that's a lot.
Or you getting better? Which one?
Or are you not?
I'm trying to give him a little bit more leeway. Like, we're not really sharing locations currently at the moment because it's like, I want to trust you. Like, I don't want to be driving myself crazy.
That's right.
So I kind of lighten up a lot because we see each other a lot more now.
Okay,
all right, yeah, let's keep it real. All right, since you keep it so real. But there was a situation where you did get caught, and even watching the show, like when you watch back, there was that car chase that everybody was talking about, where he said it was his sisters at first, and then he was acting like he didn't know who it was, but then come to find out it was a Seale who I guess was you had a prior situation with, and you told us before you really told her, like, you was on TV and you was having a conversation with her on speaker, knowing exactly what was going on, but you was in there like, I don't know who this is.
He was acting.
Yeah.
He was carrying on.
Trust me, had I known it was a female he was dealing with, I definitely would have pulled over.
Right.
But at that point, when we were in the car, I'm like, I know these ain't his sisters because they just driving too crazy. Like, because at first I thought it was some guys in the back seat because he was just coming home.
Right.
So that's why I was like scared and screaming like that because I'm thinking like maybe somebody trying to rob us. I don't know.
I feel in control of the situation because I was in my city. I knew one nobody after me. I just knew who it was. I feel like it could have got worse if the car was stopped.
But Monique was crying. She was scared. Like, she really did not know.
Yeah, she ain't really know.
Was terrified.
Who that was.
I had her though. I had her.
He didn't want to get caught.
I just
was
made
like,
sure. I made sure I held it down.
I ain't gonna lie. Like, had to. He was committed
because the situation wasn't what I wanted. I'm talking about far as the situation with the CEO. It wasn't what I wanted. It's what she wanted. I wanted this. I wanted Monique, and the CEO wanted more. And I told her it wasn't that.
Now, let's talk about this too, Monique, because your weight has been a topic of discussion. I saw you going back and forth on social media. Like, why would people think that Derek wouldn't like you because of that? Because it does feel like he's very into you. So why do you think that people criticize that and really try to act like this isn't possible?
I think TV really don't show a plus size woman being loved correctly, especially by a man who's attractive. Because I've been insecure when I was younger, but in my adult years, like, I don't have trouble finding a man. People think like I was really peddling through pen pal websites to find a man. No, I just so happened came across Derek, and I pretty much was more interested in what he was saying rather than what he looked like.
And Derek, and on your behalf, some people feel like Monique is too good for you. Like she just treats you too good. They also feel like she pays for things and that you're out here doing you and she's holding you down. She held you down while you were locked up. Then you came home. She's, handling things. I know at one point they thought you paid that crazy bill for dinner, but it turns out production paid that $500 bill. Is that correct?
I don't like how that became a big thing. This is the man I love and I care about. Even if he did want to come home and he wanted to try everything on the menu, I will get that for him. I'm not going to deprive him of anything.
Why is that?
You know what I'm saying?
Because I do it for her.
Right. So it's like, if he want to say he want to have lamb chops, crab legs, whatever the case may be, go ahead and get that.
That's right.
You was like, it's a lot.
But look, check this out though. Did anybody catch the part when I came home with $9,000 on my
on his book?
Okay.
Ain't nobody catch that?
No, I didn't catch
it. Ain't nobody talking about that either.
Listen, if we caught it, we definitely will be talking about it.
I'm saying, I said I was in the bank for a minute. WeTV couldn't even believe it.
So you put $9,000?
That was none of my money.
His money.
Yeah,
that was his
own money. He came home with that.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yes, Derek and Monique are joining us from Love After Lockup. There's more when we come back. It's Way Up with Angela Yee.
Going way up with Angela Yee.
Boom this spring. If you're looking at the current headlines, you might not believe it. Some of those industries include e-commerce, healthcare, and surprisingly, hospitality. That's one of the areas with the most growth. If you need to hire qualified candidates ASAP for any of these industries or any other industry, you need ZipRecruiter. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/wayup. You may be wondering, how does ZipRecruiter help you grow your team? Well, they use a powerful matching technology that helps you find the qualified candidates. And there's a wide range of roles that they can do that for. Let ZipRecruiter keep your team growing strong, no matter what the industry. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. See for yourself. Go to this exclusive web address to try ZipRecruiter for free. ZipRecruiter.com/wayup. Again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/WAYUP. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
Paid advertisement. Prior results don't guarantee a similar outcome.
This is Angie Martinez here with our good friend, top-rated construction and personal injury attorney, Michael Lamonsoff. You all know him for winning multi-million-dollar awards for injury victims. Michael, break down why you fight so hard for them.
I fight so hard for them because they work so hard for us. They're being injured because reckless owners choose speed over safety. Workers trust me to hit them where it hurts them the most, their pockets.
So when they come to you, you fight for them.
Absolutely. But many are steered away by ambulance chasers and runners paid by crooked lawyers. Some runners call themselves legal helpers and approach injured workers with phony promises about upfront money and lies about their track records. They can use well-known community members or social media influencers to help sell their cases.
That has to be illegal and unethical.
It is. If a lawyer has to buy your case, how good can they be? I don't buy cases. I work hard to win them.
Call Michael S. Lamonsoff by dialing pound 250 on your phone and say the bull. That's pound 250 and say the bull.
Let's be real. Mopping is a hassle. You have to fill the bucket, pushing a wet, heavy mop around, then cleaning the mop when you're done so it doesn't grow bacteria. A hassle on top of a hassle. Try Swiffer WetJet. With Swiffer WetJet, you start with a fresh pad and cleaning solution every time. And when you're done, you just toss the pad. Swiffer WetJet, the faster, easier, cleaner way to clean your floors.
iHeart Podcast Networks presents 50 Years of Hip Hop Podcast, a series that follows the evolution of rap and hip hop, a genre that broke out of the streets of the
Way Up.
Find entertainment and inspiration on Audible. Listen to motivation, health, the latest memoirs, and more. With audiobooks, popular podcasts, and originals, Audible is the home of storytelling. Sign up for 30 days free at audible.com/wayup.
Now I'm back at it.
You vibing Way Up with Angela Yee.
What's up? It's Way Up with Angela Yee and Love After Lockup. Your favorite couple, Derek and Monique, are here. And Monique, I saw on Life After Lockup, there was a cliffhanger. If you're pregnant or not. Mm-hmm. So, can we have a drink or no?
Y'all will find out tonight.
I'm like, are we having a toast or?
Regardless of the war now, are you all interested in having children?
I'm open to having kids.
Okay.
We talked about it always. We want to have kids for sure.
Okay. Right. What about marriage?
Working on that.
He got that ring, baby. Now let me ask you this: family, because it seems like that causes a lot of issues in the relationship on both of your sides. Now, Derek, I saw your sister was on live, and she was trying to say that you guys, were abusive toward each other physically, right? So, what is the situation with that?
We ain't putting our hands on each other. We have our arguments, but it ain't coming to physical blows, nothing like that.
How do you feel about your sisters? Because I know that's a difficult position to be in. Your sisters clearly don't like Monique.
That's a long story.
In return, she clearly doesn't like them because of, how they treat her. So how do you move forward like that?
If you ain't for us, you ain't for me. That's for anybody, family, friends, whoever. Because she loved me. You'll see, like my father's side, they love her.
Yeah, they seem
like
very nice.
she was born in the family. But that's how it is. My mother's side, they ain't so much embracing the situation because they feel like I got a type. They don't know the inside what I know. They don't know the character. That's what I'm going on.
That's what's more important.
That's what we standing on because I've been through a lot. She gave me love and loyalty. She was real. I just returned that same energy to my girl.
Mm-hmm. And Monique's sisters don't seem to like you either. Now, how is that situation?
The sister's not feeling on either side.
No, that's what I'm saying. It's the family. Sometimes that causes so many issues.
It's up and down.
But my sisters don't get too much into my business like his sisters.
You ran over one of his sisters.
Oh.
She fell on the ground. She was like,
Monique crazy.
But you didn't hit her.
No, she just fell out in front of the car like just dramatic.
Now, what about when you found out that Derek did cheat though, right? And you did admit that you did cheat. You stepped out. You said it was early when you had first gotten home. Mm-hmm. So how was that for you getting over that? Because we saw he went really hard to try to win you back.
It definitely was hard to get over it just because I'm like, I done did so much for this man. Like, we done been through so much. And it's like a week out, you already cheating.
But see, then on the flip side, I feel like we was in the gray area. It's that same area we was in before we got together. And then she helped me look at that like, even if we in the gray area, I ain't cheat. So I'm like, damn.
What's the gray? What do you mean we were
like
in the gray?
where we had like
arguing and fighting all the time.
And it's like
it wasn't clear.
I felt like,
and that was the first week out. You guys were arguing.
But it wasn't so much of us though. We love each other. We love them, but it was her family, my family. Like it was causing strain on our relationship. We weren't arguing about each other. We were arguing because what just took place with my sisters and outside noise.
Right.
And that's why once we move right along, we be good. We smile and happy all day, but it's be the outside noise.
Right. How were you able to forgive him though for that?
I'm working on it. I haven't completely gotten over it.
When you guys do get married, you think your sisters will come to the wedding?
They're not invited.
I know they want to. For their own reasons. They want to.
She answered that real quick.
They most definitely want to.
Now the first day out, what was that like? The first night together?
It was epic. I'm gonna be honest with him.
Be honest.
Honest.
I
shed a
there's no
tear.
other way.
We cried together the first
I ain't gonna lie.
Oh,
they ain't catch that. Y'all caught that. I ain't catch that.
Did you cry out of joy of being home?
Man, it was everything.
Right.
When I left, where I was at, where I know where I was finna go.
That's right.
I couldn't believe I cried in front of her, but it was just so real because I knew what we been through and what we got.
Right.
Other people don't understand what we got. We showing each other every day what we got.
So now financially
it's been a blessing.
And career-wise, what happens next?
We build a team. We trying to explore our own show, doing that. My fitness, I'm going to school to be a personal trainer, physical therapist. I'm into that. And I got some things like opened up my own ventures with podcasts and being active in my community, nonprofit. Mm-hmm. Like I got an organization I'm working on with the youth through sports and athletics. I was big on that growing up. And I had some opportunities to play some parts of movies. I want to do some documentaries too.
And Monique, I know you already have a job, but like, what's next for you?
I'm working through my weight loss surgery. Mm-hmm. I'm also looking to expand in like the hair business, do cosmetics, like lip kits, eyebrow kits. So that should be coming out soon.
Okay. And is somebody going to move somewhere? Is somebody going to move to Cleveland? Somebody going to move to Chicago?
No, she come to me. I know she's coming to me. That might be next week, so we could come back from New York.
All right. Well, we'll be tuned in.
Yeah, we will.
To Life After Lockup. And then I can't wait to see what you guys have coming up next. But I did want to bring y'all up here just because people act like this relationship isn't real for some reason. But Monique and Derek, love after lockup, life after lockup, and then marriage after lockup. We can't.
Kids after lockup.
Yeah, babies after lockup. And then
speak it into existence.
That's what's been going on. It's been working for us, too.
All right. Well, thank y'all so much for coming through. I appreciate you guys really traveled here to do this interview, to give us this exclusive for the first time. And hopefully it was a good experience for you.
Yes. Thank you for having us.
Appreciate you all. Thank you all.
All right. Well, thank you so much to Derek and Monique from Love After Lockup for joining us. You can watch the full interview because there's definitely a lot more on youtube.com/wayupwithyee. But when we come back, we also have Ask Yee. 800-292-5150 is the number. Call us up. Any questions you have, we are here.
Yeah, listen. You vibing way up with Angela Yee. Hey, everybody, whether it's relationship or career advice, Angela's dropping facts.
All you should know.
This is Ask Yee.
What's up? It's Way Up with Angela Yee. Jasmine Brand is here with me. And it's time for Ask Yee. And you know you can leave a voicemail. So even if you can't get through during the show, the number is 800-292-5150. We can answer your questions that way too. So here is the voicemail that one of our listeners left.
Hi, Angela. I have a question. I don't know how to approach or discuss my mother-in-law moving out of my house. My husband has talked to her already and kind of hinted around, we're going to be moving in about a year, so you're going to have to start looking around, and I guess nothing directly, but hinting kind of around the fact, I suppose. But I'm getting impatient because my mother-in-law is a procrastinator. She does everything at the last minute. She doesn't really ever give him an answer. She kind of skates around that. So I was just wondering how you think this should maybe be discussed, or if I should stay out of it. Maybe you could answer that on your show, and hopefully I catch it. I appreciate you, girl. Bye.
All right. Well, this is what I feel.
Okay. Also a good question, too.
Yeah, would be the best approach. Because she's a procrastinator. He also hasn't directly told her. He's just hinting around it. You do have to be direct, but you can also be helpful. I don't know what her plans are when it's time for her to move, but he should help her. Like, all right, so what's the plan? Let's figure this out now so that I could be of a benefit to use when you're trying to move. And then if he's, if she's moving to another place, well, let's see if she doesn't know where she's moving to. He should, find her a realtor. Like, do all of those things to be of assistance so she can't procrastinate.
I like the idea of both of them together.
But I understand that it's his mother.
It is his mama.
So he probably should be the one
to lead the discussion?
To lead the discussion and talk about it with her. First, and then just say, okay, well, we have this realtor who's going to be really helpful, so let's go look at some places.
Right.
And that's how you approach it. And then that way you can be involved in making sure that it goes along, but you're also being helpful.
Yeah.
You're not saying I'm kicking you out, but you kind of are.
In a nice way, but you're also helping, you're preparing, and you're having, the child, the son, lead the discussion, which I think is good.
Yeah, so I think that's the best way to do it. Sometimes we hint around things and you don't say it directly.
Yeah.
And so...
Because it's uncomfortable and an awkward conversation to have.
I understand.
Or keep having, yeah.
And that's why it's still not direct, like, you got to get out.
Right.
It's more like, look, I know that this is the plan. We're moving in a year. Let's help you get situated because that's going to make me so much more comfortable. I want to make sure you're good.
Yeah.
Let's go look at these places. We'll do it together. He can find her some great options. And
good talking points, too.
Well, that was Ask Yee. And again, you can always leave a message and we'll respond to that no matter what. 800-292-5150. Even if we're not on the air, we still get your messages. And we also use them for last words. And that's coming up next on Way Up with Angela Yee.
Going way up, turn up with Angela Yee. Here's the last word on Way Up with Angela Yee.
What's up? It's Way Up with Angela Yee. And that was fun. Jasmine Brand is here.
That was a good time.
Yeah. Derek and Monique. And Life After Lockup is still on, so we don't know what's going to end up happening. But we do know they're still together, it looks like.
Listen, when I tell you, they really look like they're into each other. Like, he was holding her hand whenever she would get nervous. They're really cute.
Derek, don't let us down.
Yes, please don't.
Again, that was Derek and Monique that joined us. And I know there was a lot going on. It is a Monday.
It's a lot.
So we were talking about a lot, but I do just want to say that I'm glad I got a chance to, talk about everything that happened with the whole Tamron Hall situation.
Yeah.
And I know people on social media, and this is for anybody, like it can be a crazy place. That's why I just basically logged off of that and wasn't doing that for the weekend. But I'm glad that I had a chance to speak my piece. I know, and I realize that the way that I deal with things sometimes is I'll just ignore it.
That's your go-to.
I mean, look, I feel like sometimes when you explain yourself, people be like, we don't care. Why? You know, so I'll just try to ignore things. But I did want to make sure that I addressed it only because I feel like I don't want anybody up here the women in particular up here to feel like I was trying to say they don't exist. I was really only talking about in the studio. That's why I was talking about the people whose job is to be in that studio during the show. And definitely people do come in and help with things, but throughout the course of an entire episode in that room, in that studio, that's what it was. And for anybody out there, how you feel is how you feel. I know it can be intimidating sometimes to express yourself because you don't know if there's going to be backlash. People might not believe you. They might not agree with you. They might get mad at you. They might attack you or whatever. And if they do, just log off.
Well,
that's the only advice I can give, because if you sit there and pay attention to all of those comments, you will drive yourself crazy.
And I send you comments out about this in particular, and you'd be like, Jasmine, why are you in the comments?
Yeah,
Like, get
I don't
out
look
the
at comments. I don't do any of that.
Yeah.
You know, so I just want to share all of that. And even me saying, like, usually I don't go back and forth, I don't. And then people be like, well, why are you doing it now? Well, usually I don't. But anyway, so that was that. But let's hear your last word. That's mine. And that's for real my last words on that. 800-292-5150.
I just want to give a shout out to Yee for having a new show, doing her thing on the new show. And also give a shout out to my mom and my big sister. You know what I'm saying? We just lost my father 2 years ago. And these black women have rallied around me and been the support system that I needed. So I just wanted to shine the light on them, tell them that I love them. Mama, I love you. Big sis, I love you. That's how we rock.
Well, I'd like to shout out Angela Yee. I also like to shout out myself. My name is R. Esco. I'm the founder of a lifestyle brand called Misspent Youth, and I believe Angela Yee is a well-needed voice for the culture, and she's doing exactly what she's supposed to be doing. Keep doing what she's doing, and don't worry about what people are saying, because she's doing exactly what she's supposed to be doing. She gets it, and she's relevant, she's popping, and she know what we need to hear, and she know what needs to be done. And furthermore, I also seen her at a Shopify event 2 weeks ago, and I was the one in the back yelling, "We love you, Angela!" And I gave her one of my T-shirts, and I think she's dope, and she should keep doing a wonderful job.
Turn it all the way up. Angela Yee is way up.